All right, call hello, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Rakakadash, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone of Ruel. I am not a member of Great Millstone, but I've entered into their labors. Peace, mercy, and blessings to the sincere brothers and sisters doing this, wherever you are, whatever your lot may be. Back at you with another quick strike. It'll definitely be just a quick video because I'm at work, but I happened to kind of scroll through this, and I thought it was very interesting. I'm not going to read all of it. I just wanted to key in on a couple parts, right? So it says Iran returns 820,000 of the British, Swedish, you see that thing. Okay, they gave it back to Poland. Why? Because it was made in the U.S. Okay, and a health official told Iranian state on TV on Monday, okay, we've been donated by Warsaw. Okay, when those things arrived in Iran, they found out imported from Poland or from the U.S., okay? And then after the coordination with the Polish ambassador, it was decided that they would be returned, okay? In a letter referenced by Al Jazeera and seen by Iranian media, Iranian health minister Bahram, I know a lot, whatever, I'm not going to say that, doesn't matter, that's not the point, okay? They turned out to be from an unauthorized source. Okay. I was reading that breaking news. All right. Let's see. I'd agreed to replace the ones from an authorized source. Okay. Supreme Leader Ayatollah. All right. The country later authorized. And you see the pride. They're saying that it's touted as Britain's life-saving gift to the world. But in all actuality, you're the disease. Okay, imports of U.S. and British Vs in the country are forbidden. They're completely untrustworthy. Not unlikely they would want to contaminate other nations. Okay, and I pick that up because maybe 20 years, 30, 40 years ago, anything that came from here or the Lion, which is UK, would have been just fine. It would have been welcomed. And then only after that would it backfire, but none of that would get media coverage, right? And the internet wasn't then as it is now, so it just would have been swept under the rug. But now people are openly, we do not trust you, and for good reason, and that is another sign of a nation that is on its way out the door, or a kingdom that is on its way out the door. All right, so let me go to the age-old foundational. Okay, Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? And we understand that the person in charge, or that who was given the fatness of the earth, according to Genesis, is who we have in power right now. None other than Esau Edom, who labels himself as a color and labels our people as colors. But, colors are not ethnicities. Colors are not nationalities. Colors are not races. They are simply colors. And he is also known as the accuser of our brethren. And if you go into that word accuser, it goes into categoreo, that word. And that word categoreo is where obviously you get category. And you put people into categories to further oppress them. And how do we know who the wicked is? Malachi, right? Which I always seem to get wrong. Malachi 1, I'm sorry. Whereas Edom says we are impoverished. Give me a second. All right. But we will return and build the desolate places. I'm reading verse 4 right now. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom Yahweh hath indignation with forever. Okay, and this is referring to Esau, Edom, and Esau and his descendants. Okay, in the Greek way, you would say Idumea or Idumean. And I want to get something else. So, your deception is pretty much has run its course. And another foundational, okay. And we're going to go straight to, because this is how you read this. You read 1 through 3, and then you skip down to 7. So, I'm going to go straight to verse 7. And when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed from his prison, and shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth. So, we are currently approaching that end of his little season for deception, because like I said, when I pulled that article, maybe 30, 40, close to 50 years ago, anything coming from the beast or the whore would have been welcomed with open arms. Save us, help us, we need you. Okay, but now everybody's giving this whore the side eye, as they should, because they realize that she's been in bed with many, many, many men, and she is not to be trusted, because her way leadeth to hell, right, as the scriptures say. And hell being a low estate, not a place underground with fire where people go and burn for eternity. That is not what I mean. Just you go and you're in a low estate. Okay, that's all that is. But nobody trusts this whore anymore. So he went down, and that is a nation of people, Esau, Edom. All right, he went down, he was sitting in that bottomless pit, so he was confined to a piece of land. A pit is a piece of land without sustenance or without a healthy, fertile soil. A lot of the soil that they were relegated to was mostly a volcanic ash, and it's very hard to till the land, and a lot of it was steeped down with bedrock. So again, it's hard to till that land, and that is why it's called the bottomless pit, because of the lack of minerals and the lack of resources needed for plant growth. Let me get something for pit before I continue to read that. I believe there we go, 5 and 24. This is 2nd Ezra 5 and 24. And of all the lands of the whole, let me just go 23, okay? And said, O Lord, that bears rule of every wood of the earth, and of all the trees thereof, thou hast chosen only one vine. So you see the similitude is all the wood and all the trees. He chose a single vine. And think about a vine that grows on a single tree. Or there are many vines. There are many trees, and then there are many vines on a single tree. But he chose of one tree from one vine. So it's narrowing down his people. And when you go to read in the book of Deuteronomy, I believe, let me not say that, but it is, I'll check it out. But I believe it is written, we were not chosen because we were the strongest or the biggest. We were chosen because we were the smallest and the weakest. And I'm roughly paraphrasing a passage somewhere. I'm not going to say where, because I don't want to misspeak or misrepresent, but it does say that. And in verse 24, and of all the lands of the whole world, thou hast chosen thee one pit, and that is, the land of Israel or the land of Canaan that we were given, that would later be called Israel. Okay, and of all the flowers thereof, one lily. So as you can see, that is what that pit is. Not a bottomless pit of smoke and ash and from burning and, from a fictional place called hell. That's not what that means. So let's go back. So as this little season draws to a close, Well, you know what's next. There are some prophecies. There are two major prophecies, right? The third woe, and then the implementation of a mandatory something, right? So if you're not looking at your screen, go ahead and read what I'm showing you. At the very bottom, you see the highlighted portion. We're still waiting on that. Infrastructure is there. And then you have, you have that ending part of Daniel 7 where it shows where the throne. And then you have 2nd Esdras where it talks about the coming of Yahweh Shai. But what I wanted, no, I forget where it's at. There we go. So after all is said and done, right? Okay, and then also in Revelation 20, because that the 4 through 6,000 years is where the kingdom is being set up. So it tells you what's already happened and currently happening, and then it skips forward to what's going to happen. That's verse 4 through 6, and in verse 7 is him being loosed. And we are living in verse 7 right now, but that's coming to an end. So this is the last verse that I wanted to get. So after those two, after the major prophecies and after the Jacob's trouble, all of these things that are coming upon the earth, these manufactured shortages, the hell that we are about to endure. Okay, after all of that, verse 9, for Esau is the end of the world, or the end of an age, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So the kingdom will be translated from one people to another. But no kingdom goes down without a fight. No kingdom willingly gives anything up, especially a devil as proud as he. So fasten your seatbelts, all right? Get you a Red Bull, because it's really going to be something that you're going to see. He is going to show his ass. Folks are going to starve. Folks are going to be killed. There's going to be a great insurrection. All of these riots, all of these quote-unquote peaceful protests are going to turn riotous. Don't know when, don't know how, but it is written. So sit back, enjoy the show, stay prayed up. Preach if you preach, give if you give. Whatever it is that you do, do it to the best of your abilities and live a repentant life. Always be thankful. Just if Yahweh Shem Yahshua wakes you up, say thank you. Say thank you when you are at the water, when you get from one destination to another, because it's solely by his grace. And with that, it will be solely by his grace that we make it out of this, because it is said that the righteous shall scarcely be saved. So bear that in mind while things are good. And you build up that inner man, so when things get bad, you'll really be giving thanks. It'll be easy. You'll see. You'll be grateful for the small things. Or be grateful for the small things. All right, so that's all I had. This actually went a little longer than I thought it would. So, shalom.